Dear students, we start the lesson. This is our new class here about culture. And we have an introduction before we go to the special topics about German society and German culture. And our first question today, of course, is the basic question about this class: what is culture? And because there are, of course, many different opinions about culture, we will try to find out what we understand when we talk about culture. So try to have some ideas about what you want to say to the whole class. Remember, this is a speaking class, it's not a listening class. And most of all, this is a thinking class. So I want you to start thinking and try to say something in public. This should be some kind of basic skill for your professional life. Yes, we go to the first easy question to have some warm-up exercise. Of course, when people think about culture, they always have the next idea about nature. You can see two pictures here. The one on the left side is, of course, about the nature. It's a beautiful lake in the Black Forest where I come from. And on the right side, you can see the picture of my hometown, Freiburg in the south of Germany, close to this Black Forest, but it's a different picture. We have the nature on the left side, on the culture on the right side. And when we think about the Latin word and the Latin origin of this word culture, we come to the verb to cultivate, and that means to transform something into something else. So we can see that the nature of the forest and the landscape is transformed into a city. So there are houses and buildings and people are living there, and lots of technology is invented and used. So this is not the same environment anymore. So the nature was transformed into culture. Now, this is of course an open question. What is culture and what is nature? If we look at the Black Forest, maybe it's already some kind of culture. It's not nature anymore because people use it in their texts, in their ideology, in their picture of their home country. And then, of course, this is not only nature, but also already some kind of sign for something else. And of course, the same about culture. There's still nature inside. People live in houses ready for the weather, the climate, any kinds of challenges by the environment. So the same city in Taiwan maybe would look very different than in Germany. So the first idea, of course, is nature versus culture. Yeah, the second idea is about animals and their possibility or their capability of having culture. When you look at the monkey, he's using some kind of instrument. So he's already some kind of intelligent and he's close to the human beings. But the question is if he or his kind, his species, already has some kind of intelligence high enough for culture. Can they create? Can they really build things and systems and societies difficult enough and complicated enough to be called culture? The same about the cat. Maybe you have a cat, and then you can see that this cat is smart. But the problem is this already culture? Can we call it some kind of high-level culture like maybe human beings can have? And on the right side, you can see Manuel Neuer. He's a famous German soccer player. And well, he's doing something, let's say, quite simple. He's following a ball on a field. This is not really some kind of high philosophy or very complicated, but at the same time, of course, people call it culture. So the question here could be animals or human beings. You can already see that the class is not about transferring knowledge. It's more about asking questions, and then you can try to find some more information or discuss it in the group discussions we will have and try to find some better ideas about it. So doubt it. This is some kind of basic exercise for science. And then you can use it for the texts and the essays you will have to write in this class and try to find some better idea maybe. So improving the explication of science is always the best idea for helping the community to get better knowledge. And then, of course, it's very important that you try to find the information that is really reliable and that you can use in the discussions and not just something you found somewhere. This kind of checking research results is, of course, a very important skill. Yes, and the next part you can see is the big question of sociology. What is a society? What are individuals? How do individuals behave in a society? And then, of course, we talk about, can culture really be built on an individual basis, or is it only possible in a collective way? So can you be a very lonely person, maybe on the planet Mars, like this one here, and still have some kind of culture? Or is this only possible when you meet other people? And this is just the real meaning of culture. So here you can see some pop music concert, and these people are, of course, celebrating together. And this is maybe one of the best examples when people meet, so encounters. And this is what we will talk about, of course, in this class too, intercultural encounters. And then that's what people experience in their real lives. I can show you some of the other questions, but before this, we will go into our first pair discussion. So it's not only me talking, but I want you to find some new partners and then have some nice example about these topics here. You can choose pretty much anything you like, and then you can talk about this with your partner and come back to the whole class and present your ideas to everybody. Okay, these are the other questions here. The common life, what is different and what is same, and about high and everyday culture. This is what we will talk about after the first pair discussion. Yes, thank you very much. See you in a few minutes.